Speaking of power drill, my neighbors, they've just, I don't know what they're doing over there. Every day they just have like a saw going for like 12 straight hours. It's quite annoying. Probably. It's quite a picture.
One second. Maybe I missed. I wear them every day, but
I know.
I've broken 4 pairs.
DraftKings gave me a pair, and I don't use them.
I don't like the AirPod Pro or Pro Max, whatever they are, like the Max, whatever. The smaller ones, they don't fit my ears right. I like the
they wouldn't.
Gen 2.
They wouldn't work for me, but I've never.
They're nice. The microphone just always goes off on me. Like I have to get new ones every. I probably should stop using, but I wear them every day.
Because you break them?
I don't know why, but like the microphone just stops working. Yeah. Who knows? Maybe because I fall asleep with one of them in sometimes, and then like I go on the left side of my head and then kind of crushes it. And then I probably roll over on it a few times in the middle of the night. Like after it falls out of my ear.
Are you getting like incepted messages when you sleep?
Dude, I woke up once and I woke Justine up out of a sound sleep, and I was like, I was in another dimension. I shake her, I'm like, listen to this. And I grabbed her and I pulled her over. I thought my pillow was talking to me, Ben. I put her ear up against the pillow and I was like, do you hear that? Do you hear that? She goes, what the fuck are you talking about? But what are you talking about? And I was like, oh. And I still had something playing at like 3 a.m.
Yeah, that seems problematic.
I thought the pillow was sending me messages, man. Yeah, what a way to wake up. Anyway, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Odd Shop. Open the door, sit down, let's shop some odds. I'm Dave Loughran, Lafayette_D, and joining me, Ben Rasa at Jazz Raz DFS. Getting into it today, a little 6-game action in Major League Baseball. World Baseball Classic Championship. Team USA, baby. You see the flag back there. It never leaves. We're talking about getting the win in the WBC against the Japanese team and a bunch of other stuff, Ben, that we can get into. So how you feeling?
I feel good. Yeah, you said MLB, 6 games in the NBA for sure.
You know what I meant.
It's fine. I know.
I got baseball on my mind.
You do. And it's a good day. I watched the Japan-Mexico game yesterday. Was absolutely outrageous. What a game. So we're going to get into that. We're going to have ladders. Absolutely. I know chat's asking about that. You got questions, you drop them in there. We'll be happy to do that. So I'm excited. We haven't done a show together. I think it's been about a week, to be honest.
It has been a week. Matter of fact, it's been exactly a week. And the last time we did this show, we talked about Bradley Beal overs on 26.5 points, right?
Yes.
We got it at 26.5. It moved to 27.5. He went for 33. We also talked about laddering Beal threes up to 4 at plus 700. Remember, we spent a lot of time on that. And I tell you what, both of them hit that day. Now, hold on. What makes that interesting is that was because we liked those because Kyle Kuzma was sidelined. Bradley Beal had played 5 games without him. He had been very good. Kyle Kuzma's out again today. They're facing the Orlando Magic that allow the 4th most 3-point attempts in basketball. Not only that, Bradley Beal in 6 games without Kuzma this year, 33 points, 33, 32, 33, 17, and 30. And he's gone 3+ threes in 3 of his last 4. Do we revisit this today for a little Bradley Beal run back action?
We might have to, yeah. Because what I was going to say, this all started because of chat. That's how that got started. They were asking, and then you were talking about with Kuzma being out, and you went back and you were saying, Beal had hit like 3 or 4 in a couple of games, and some of those were without Kuzma. So we got a competitive, I think it's, one, I'm on OddsShopper right now, 1.5 point spread. So a close competitive game against the Magic. You got to see what the odds look like, but you have my curiosity. I'll say that much.
On FanDuel, laddering the threes up to 4 is still plus 700 as it was last week in this exact same scenario. Now, granted, last week against Detroit, right? This week against Orlando, or tonight. Oh, it's at 600. See, it already dropped.
They know.
Already dropped to 600. You know what we got to get on OddsShopper, by the way? We need to get double doubles.
Okay.
Well, here's why I say this. Because double doubles, you want to talk about a prop that varies just dramatically across all of the books, double props. Kevin Porter the other day, Kevin Porter Jr. was plus 600 on FanDuel, plus 400, or plus 600 on DraftKings, plus 400 on FanDuel, plus 500 on BetMGM. Some of these other spots like Zubats today, and so actually someone in our, shout out to somebody on our chalkboard for mentioning that. That is free. We're building a great community, free app, free service, all the picks, all the conversation free, all the sweats, the celebration, the commiserating together, all of it free forever, not just for the first week. Link in the description. Come join us, man. If you haven't done so yet, help us build a community. We're going to be giving out a lot of OddsShopper premium monthly passes for free, Bet Pro subscriptions for free, for those of you guys that get into the ground floor and help us build this thing up. So chalkboard's going to be the way of the future when it comes to sports betting chat conversation. You can sync your bets through it. All the box scores are built in. It's awesome. Check it out. If you don't like it, leave, but it's free forever. Come join us in there. We got like 400 people. We just started it up the other day, so it's still brand new. But someone mentioned today, someone goes, hey, Ben, if it's a, or they're like, hey, what do you guys think of if it's a Zubats double at plus 105? And people are like, yeah, I like that. But then someone else is like, well, it's plus 115 here. And someone goes, it's plus 130 here. These double props vary wildly across the board.
Yeah, and that, I mean, that's the whole genesis of what we're talking about here, is not just is this a good bet, because everything has context. You know, that was something I was talking actually yesterday, a couple people about that's a habit that I get into, that a lot of people get into, of like, oh, is this a good bet? And you don't even give the line. And it's like, everything's a good bet at a certain price and everything's a bad bet at a certain price. So what you're talking about right there is the key. And even something like the ladder with Beal, you know, we got to find the right price and then we can roll the dice. But interesting. Wendell Carter double just from chat. Same game, obviously, as Beal. You can see that. I got to look at the price, but
certainly possible. That. Yeah. Yeah. Look at the price.
Let me give you
what's that?
Plus 135 on DraftKings for Wendell Carter. That's not bad.
No. And I'm telling you, look elsewhere and see what it's at. I bet there's some big differences for sure. How about this? You get doubles, right? Those vary wildly. What about alt lines, like 3-point ladders on guys like Bradley Beal, or on one site to another? Here's an example. Look at Bradley Beal on FanDuel right now, plus 600. If you got that earlier in the day and you wanted to ladder that up to 4 threes, that was at plus 700, right? Now on FanDuel, 4+ threes is at plus 450. That's huge value if that's a bet that you like.
Yeah, and it's plus 450 now on DraftKings as well. So
no. Wait, on FanDuel it is? I just looked. It was plus 600.
No, on DraftKings it's plus 450.
That's what I said. What did I say?
You said FanDuel.
Oh, FanDuel's plus 600.
You know, you got to tell the people. Before the show, I'll tell the people. Before the show, Lofty was, I don't know what you were doing, bird watching or hunting. He had wild birds in the house, and I think you may have rabies. Is what I'm trying to say.
No, dude, they get into the dryer vent exhaust, right, out back every spring, like when they start building nests. And you've seen, I had to explain to Ben what this, I had to explain to Adam what this was earlier today on our DFS show. These guys don't know what dryer vents are, like dryer exhausts are. I have no idea that like the dryer has an exhaust that's hooked, goes into the wall, and then the exhaust has to go. So they just no idea. But I bet you have a dryer in your house.
Yes. I don't have condors living in there though, like you.
No, dude, the birds go in outside right at the entrance, and they start building a nest. So I had to take it down, put a grate in there so they couldn't get in. First, you pull the dryer out, take the exhaust off, like the exhaust hose type thing. And then I take a leaf blower and I blow it all out. Just go turbo mode, blow it all out. Anyway, okay. I'm getting mixed up here. You're right. But you know what I mean. FanDuel's plus 600, DraftKings plus 450. That's, if you're going for 4+3s, why would you take it anywhere than the spot that's giving you the best value?
Well, again, you have to shop these because the margins are incredibly thin, and you're going to be crossing the barrier where you're going plus EV to minus EV, and that's what we're going to get into as well. Where do you want? You're steering this ship. Where do you want to go first? Because we got a lot of things to get to. Of course, we're going to build some parlays. We're going to look at the tools. What do you want to get to first?
So we hit on Beal. I mean, I think I do like the over on points today. If you wanted to have some fun with the ladder, you go and do it on FanDuel. It's that simple, right? Yep. You do it where the money's the best. If you were to bet 100, you win 600. Whereas if you bet 100, you win 450. Just on that last four plus. If we wanted to look somewhere else before we really dive into shopping odds over on OddsShopper, I think it's only reasonable that we talk about these nice little promos that these books have going on for the World Baseball Classic.
So chat actually brought one up. Shout out to Zach. He said that you have some bet insurance, I believe, for the US tonight over on DraftKings. So there are some options. Yeah, let's talk a little WBC. Why not?
So is that money line?
Yeah, I believe you have to bet the US to win. And you get back up to $15 on that bet if it loses. So yeah, money line. USA money line, bonus bet back if they happen to lose tonight.
What is the money line on that?
I saw it 140. Yeah, it's been in the 150 range. It was at 145 before. 155 now. So there you go.
Okay. The total's at 10.5. All right.
Yeah. Merrill Kelly on the mound, I want to say. I don't quote me, but
dude, someone on our chalkboard found an amazing value on that today. It was so Merrill Kelly over 2.5 strikeouts on PrizePicks, right? But there was no juice because it's PrizePicks. That prop at other books was minus 1,300 on alt strikeouts.
Well, yeah, that'll play.
That's insane, right? I mean, it has to have been that had to have been an error on PrizePicks part.
Yes, definitely. And sometimes that happens.
Yeah, but people were locking that in. I mean, that's insane.
I would hope so. Yeah. And it's Taco Tuesday. Nice.
Yeah. Taco Tuesday on PrizePicks as well. But yeah, get in on that. If DraftKings is running promos and they're saying, hey, bet this and get your money back in bonus bets if it loses, plus you get to sweat. You get to sweat the USA winning the WBC. I would go for it. What's it up to? $15?
Yep. You can bet whatever you want, to my knowledge. And if they happen to lose, you'll get credited a bonus bet of up to $15.
Okay. That's not bad.
A little rebate if they happen to lose.
Why not? Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So now that, and I think there's another one too. Mike, put that back on the screen. So you have the DraftKings one, and then you have the over. This is the one that concerns me a little bit is first inning runs. I think, Mike, put that back on the screen, please. So yeah. Okay. Oh no, okay. FanDuel, Team USA to score in the first inning boosted to plus 160. What do you think?
I mean, I wish Aton was on the show. He's the no run first inning guru. Stuff like that. Again, if you can get, I can't find it, and maybe it's just a New York thing. If you can get a baseline of what that would be and it's better than it, then you should blindly bet it. But I don't know if that's the case. I'm a little skeptical of that one. Obviously, your break-even point on plus 160. It's not like you need that to be a coin toss. You've got some room there, but I don't know how I would gauge that, to be honest.
And it's funny because I looked on DraftKings to see if they had first inning runs.
Yeah.
They don't. They just have first 5 innings.
And that makes it tough. Yeah, I don't see it either. So it's hard to gauge. What would that say? You take away the boost, what would they be?
Well, I can tell you this much. Team USA total runs in the first 5 innings is 3.5, and the over is plus 125.
Yeah, I mean, the guy on the mound for Japan is obviously the real deal. There's no doubt about it. So I think, yeah, go ahead. I can do without this one, to be honest.
I think I could too. So what is it? You get, yeah, it's not like you get anything back if you lose. It's just boosted. I don't love that at all. As a matter of fact.
No. And we had a question. It said, if you put, sorry to cut you off, Lovey. It said, if you put Team USA into DraftKings in a parlay, do you still get the bonus bet if they lose? I don't believe so. It's got to just be a straight money line bet on them.
Yes. From all the bonuses and promos I've ever seen, they never honor putting them in parlays or anything like that. So, by the way, hit that thumbs up if you guys haven't done so yet. Appreciate everyone being here with us, but take a second, hit that thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, all that good stuff. Tell your friends about this as well. All right. I want to look at some top bets over at OddsShopper today. There was one, you're going to love this, right? And I don't know if it's still there.
Better not be under a half.
What?
It better not be under a half of 3. Every time we get on the show, that's what you say.
It's not.
Okay.
But it truly speaks to the beauty of this tool, because if you got in there early, and even if this loses, like objectively, you got the best bet you could get, right? Check this out. Earlier today on FanDuel, you had Mikal Bridges PRA under 31.5 at minus 102 at one point, right? At minus 102. Everywhere else, it was 30.5 at minus 120 or worse.
Yeah, so not only are you getting the best line, you're stealing a full point.
Right. So everything else was a point lower, but still juiced to the under heavily, more heavily than FanDuel was at 31.5.
Yeah, I mean, that you don't see too often. Usually it's one or the other. Like the books will move and the juice will move with it. But every so often, as you mentioned, you're getting a better number and a better line combined. So that one, of course, has, I believe, adjusted because I don't see it on my screen. Claxton and Dinwiddie, a pair of Brooklyn Nets at the top in terms of ROI right now when I sort.
Well, it's still at 31.5. It's at minus 115 now. So
yeah, so it's moved a little bit.
But like DraftKings is 30.5 at minus 115. So it might only be a point, but sometimes that point makes a huge, and you're getting the exact same price from FanDuel to DraftKings, the same price on a different line.
Oh, the point is huge. And I mean, depending, you can also look the other way. This is not something I have in front of me, but like if the juice is reduced on the other side, you could also, if you wanted to try for a middle and hope that you spike 31, you know what I mean? You bet the over 30.5 and then the under on 31.5. If it hits on the outside, you lose one of the VIGs. If it lands on 31, you win both.
Yeah. And that would have been even better too if it was still at minus 102 on.
That's where you can do that, because you can't do that where it's like, oh, I'm paying minus 118 and minus 118. Like that math doesn't work.
Right, like you're just bleeding out, even if one of them's going to win, but you're still bleeding out. If both of them had very little, that would have been very interesting. Just looking at the top ROI bets. That Bridges bet is still 2% expected ROI. So it's still a nice bet. We still have it with a 56% win percentage. But sorting by, I don't know if I like to sort by highest expected ROI just to see what we have.
Mm-hmm.
Claxton, you mentioned, under 10.5 rebounds. Man, what an interesting spot for a number of reasons. One, BetMGM's giving you a nice price on that. But also, Jared Allen was a full participant in practice. This is not a Cleveland team that's particularly easy to rebound against either.
This is one of those, and again, the numbers are the numbers. The reason this shows up as a great bet is because on other books, this is not minus 120. It's up to like minus 145 on Caesars and stuff like that. But it is nice, Lofty, just from a rooting interest. If you asked me without looking at the numbers, would I go over or under his rebounds in this spot? I would just go under on just thinking about the game and how it could play out. Right.
Right. And it's not something you take into consideration when you're looking at OddsShopper, but if it's something you already liked, and then you say, oh, wow, we have this as a 7% XROI bet, and it's our highest XROI bet on the slate, I have no problem getting there at all. It looks like we have a lot of unders across the board on Brooklyn players today too, like Dinwiddie under 2.5 threes on FanDuel. I mean, it's minus 166, but other places I'm looking at 180, minus 186, minus 175 on DraftKings. And then you get into some of the like Terrence Mann under 12.5 PRA. That's tough because it's really only at a couple shops. Like I'm not really sure how much we can glean from that if it's only at like one or two books that I'm seeing.
Yeah, some of the secondary ones again. Now there are, not to get into too crazy what goes on, but how to identify these. There are books out there that kind of set that, and we can glean some information off that. But I'm with you. I would rather stick to the first two that we mentioned. Even Dinwiddie, I don't know what's going on at Caesars, but like their lines are 30 cents different on some of these. They're minus 204 on Dinwiddie, and we're talking about minus 166. That's 38 cents. That's massive.
Caesars has been weird lately. Bet Rivers, if it's available to you, has been really weird lately too. Like sometimes I pull this up and just like everything is all of the top bets are Bet Rivers bets on OddsShopper.
Yeah, I mean, certain books. I was just before the show, not to get on a tangent. I'm trying to spend some time on college baseball because like this is not something I bet, and I think there's serious problems with the lines. I was looking at the differences between these books. I mean, they're not even in the same stratosphere. And some of those secondary books, there's serious edges. You just have to kind of figure it out. But man, I don't get this on some of these. And Claxton and Dinwiddie are two right at the top. And then Wendell Carter is up towards the top. His assists, again, another under 2.5 on BetMGM at minus 160 is one of the better bets on the board.
How valuable do you think it is to have accounts on like smaller books where sometimes the line, like every time I go into OddsShopper or even our Bet Pro tool and I sort by best bets or highest XROI bets, I'm constantly inundated with all of the best bets being from some of these smaller non-DraftKings, non-FanDuel type of books.
Yeah, there's definitely something to that. If you have the bankroll to be on all of them, is that the best? Yeah, absolutely. Am I on every book in New York? No, I'm not. No. I probably should be. But, you pick a couple, you try them out. Some you may not like, but there's no doubt competition helps because you're going to find discrepancies. And instead of needing, think about it logically, Loughran. Say you have two books. You need one of the two books to screw up to find the good bet. If you have 5 books, you only need one of 5 to screw up. You just have more chances.
I know. And if you guys haven't, by the way, all of the books are down there in the description. I'll say this much. You're going to get nice promos on all of these with these links. But if you're in New Jersey, Colorado, Ohio, or Virginia, I said it the other day, dude. I hope I wasn't offensive to them, but I said it during a read. I was like, this is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And I didn't mean dumb as in like you shouldn't do it. I meant dumb in how are they doing this? It's $1 in the $365. You bet $1 and you get $365 in bonus bets.
Yeah, I was talking about this too. It's funny. Someone was saying, because I was saying, I wish I lived in New Jersey. They were just like, no one has ever said that. But it's super easy. Yeah, you claim it and you get your money. So if you're in those 4 states, I'm waiting for Bet365 to come to New York. Pennsylvania, hopefully soon enough for you.
It is coming to PA soon. I'm gonna smash that promo, dude.
Well, yeah, you think? It's pretty damn nice to get a little $365 right off the bat.
Yeah, because even if I lose it all, I'm down $1. Like I could go on the worst run of my life and still be down $1. It's beautiful. Yeah, Colorado, Ohio, Virginia, New Jersey. It takes a minute to sign up. You deposit 10. You only have to bet one of those $10, and you get 365 in bonus bets. But everything else down there too. BetMGM. They got a new Massachusetts promo for you in Massachusetts. Ohio's got a great one for Caesars right now if you're in Ohio. So yeah, just look down there in the description, see if there's any books you're not on, and you only want to deposit $10. A lot of them, you're going to get a huge payday in return. So check them out. But yeah, anyway, there's a few spots that I just think stand out to me today that on OddsShopper you have to be considering. Mikal Bridges, I still think is viable, but it's not the same that you're still stealing a point if you're taking under 31.5. Under 3s on him in this tough matchup against the Cleveland Cavs, who play at the slowest pace in the league as well. I also really don't mind Paul George under 6.5 rebounds here. This is one of those spots where, once again, you're getting it at plus 110 on DraftKings. FanDuel's got it priced at minus 106. PointsBet, who usually is like always giving you the best odds on a lot of stuff, minus 110. Plus 110 on DraftKings is a really nice spot there, under 6.5 boards for Paul George, especially if Zubats, and again, getting statistical here, I know crossing over, but especially if Zubats keeps playing 30 minutes a night. Like, he's clearly their best rebounder, and now he's playing big minutes.
Yeah, no doubt about it. There's definitely some factors there. And, you know, leading it, of course, is that you're getting the right number. You're getting plus 110. A lot of books have that in the minus range. So I get it. I know we're going to move to some parlays and whatnot, and this is kind of tangential. I want to ask you, though, about one specific prop that's towards the top, and it's just interesting from a couple different aspects. It's very juice, so if you play this, you might be looking in same-game parlays or things like that. But your boy Killian Hayes, so his three-point prop, it's over under a half a three. The over is minus 200. That's the best line. It's up to minus 250 at other places, minus 200 on Caesars for over a half a three for Killian Hayes. He has hit 0 threes in 6 of his last 7 games. So when you look at the game logs, when you look at the logic, you would lean to the under, but we're saying that the over actually is the appropriate bet, because some books have this as high as minus 250. I just thought that was interesting.
It's really interesting. The problem, God, he's so bad.
He's not great.
Remember the other day I was like, I know objectively the Jonas Valanciunas over is the right play, but it terrifies me. And he played like 15 minutes. But then the last 2 games, Joe Val's played like 32 and 34 minutes. Okay. With Killian Hayes, this is one of those spots where he literally has the worst true shooting percentage in the league among all players, averaging 20 plus minutes per game. That's not good. Okay. He is a horrible 3-point shooter as well. How many has he attempted over those games?
So in his last 7 games, he has attempted, let me get this right, 6, 9, 11, 14. He is 1 of his last 17. And he has 2 of his last 23.
I'll take it. I mean, regression. If you're gonna keep, listen, he's a 28% 3-point shooter. So he's 2 of his last 23, you said?
Yep.
All right. Well, that's 8.7%.
Yeah, I was gonna say. In his last 5 games, he has taken 2 or more threes in all of them. He's taken 3 or more threes in 4 of his last 5. He just hasn't made any of them. Like,
he stinks, dude. He's a bad shooter. I will say though, I'm under on Killian Hayes points today at 13.5 with Jaden Ivey back. I don't mind that Killian Hayes over a half a three I really don't mind that as a parlay piece.
Again,
I mean, you said it's at minus 200 in some spots. Where's the best price?
It's at Caesars. It's minus 200. And I'm looking right now. You have books upwards of minus 250 for that. So you're definitely getting the right price. It's just a matter of, you got minus 210, minus 250, minus 235. You're going to have to stomach it, but I think that's a pretty interesting piece if you are building, say you're building a same game parlay in the Pistons game.
This guy stinks. All right, ready? I'm looking this up on Stammies. How many games does Killian Hayes have at least 1 3-pointer this season?
I mean, he was
games. 40 out of 66 games. He's got at least 1 3-pointer.
I mean, he's not shy. You're going to get your money's worth. Like, he may go 0 for 4 again, but again, is that the defining prop of the show? No, but I did think that was an interesting one.
What, an implied probability of 67%?
Yeah.
When I look at it in those terms, it makes me a little uncomfortable.
We have the X win at 69%. That's why there's value.
Well, all right. Lock him in. As a parlay piece, why not? Well, here's what I'm saying. I would rather do that as a parlay piece than I'd rather do a 3-leg parlay of half a unit or something than
I'd
go
agree with
just
that.
like have to play 2 units to win 1 on Killian Hayes because he's so bad. What else do you got for me? Lay another one out there for me in the chat.
Let's say. All right. Yeah, this is another interesting one I wanted to ask you about. Your boy. This is again your boy. You bet him, I believe, for the 3-point prop. Franz on the Magic. Your friend, Mr.
That was
Wagner.
Mo. That was Mo that I was on the under.
My mistake.
That was Mo.
Okay.
That was his brother.
His brother. Well, we got him under 4.5 rebounds tonight, showing up as a really good XRY on DraftKings, which is somewhat of a rarity. They're pretty efficient with the props, but they have the kind of the hanging line right now at -145, 61% X win. A lot of props are coming out of this Wizards Magic game tonight, potentially.
Yeah, this is a weird one. It's funny too. PointsBet has it under 3.5 at +110. FanDuel under 3.5 at +114. So yeah, on that 4.5, you're paying a bit on DraftKings against Washington. We have it at 61% expected win. That's a pretty high number.
Yeah, again, I mean, you're laying juice, but that's a very, very nice number.
It is. I mean, I guess when you look at it, yeah, you're 4% expected ROI, recommended the OS bet percentage. So the recommendation on how much your bankroll, 3.91%.
I already bet this one, so it better come through.
You bet? You bet old front? You sure it wasn't Mo?
I'm quite sure.
Okay. The ones that I have trouble figuring out are some of these when we have the XRY real high on like first half money lines or first quarter money lines, stuff like that.
So that stuff, again, it's not gonna. One of the most common questions we get in Discord and Chalkboard and things like that is like, is this a good parlay piece? And really, with parlays and stuff, it's more about construction and risk tolerance. There is some nuance, obviously, but generally, I think in general, if you're inputting bad bets into a parlay, it's going to be a disaster. If you bet those bets straight, it will also be a disaster. So when I see those, I don't know about you, Lofty, I do tend to say, okay, I know they're plus EV bets, but to me, they make much better parlay pieces. Like, do I want to lay -350 on the Pelicans first half money line on its own? Not really, to be honest, but I think it's an interesting piece to some of the puzzles.
Me too. It's just one of those spots as a straight bet that I kind of go, oh, I don't know if I can get there, but they grade out nicely. Looking at Chalkboard too, we had a few people get into some action here. So Ricky L98, what's up, Ricky? Just threw a PrizePicks card in. We can go over to PrizePicks here on the Parlay Builder and see what the best PrizePicks parlay is today. Also, you guys gotta hit. You guys gotta hit the Kelly. Somebody in chat just said that it's still there, Ben. That Kelly prop is still there. The strikeout
PrizePicks.
I'm gonna look it up right now because I'm telling. If you guys haven't hit that yet, you're insane.
Where is his prop? I can't find his prop. Again, New York's got weird rules, but if there's major discrepancies like that, obviously you want to hit that.
Yeah, what would it be under? It's not under MLB. Maybe I don't have. Maybe people posted it. Like people. Oh, a WBC. There it is. Okay, hold on.
I only have batter props in New York. Or maybe there's just only batter props. I don't know.
There you go. Pitcher strikeouts. 2.5 on Merrill Kelly. 2.5. It's remarkable that the USA team could not get a better pitching staff, by the way. Blows my mind.
That lineup is loaded, though.
Dude, Trey Turner's batting 9th.
Yeah.
Batting 9th and crushing. So, yeah, 2.5. Other people were finding these Kelly props, these strikeout props at just massively juiced to the over. I also think on PrizePicks you can find inefficiencies like this because you're going to get props that PrizePicks is going to post that might not be anywhere else.
So that's another good point. With more selection, there's just more. It's just like when we're talking about having more books. When you have more props, when you have more options, it's just more opportunities for discrepancies. And they have like a ton of stuff over there. And even in the parlay builder, I was using it this morning for PrizePicks. I had some parlays that when I was making them, it had a little college basketball, a couple NHL guys, and a couple NBA guys, and you can get that. Now we have MMA included in OddsShopper as well. You could theoretically have a multitude of options over there in the same PrizePicks card.
Yeah, there's no limitations. I don't know. I guess you're gonna find some edge. You know, they have weird stuff like punting props, remember, for NFL and stuff like that you just didn't find anywhere else. And a lot of times they'll lay like over or under on half a touchdown. I remember they stopped doing this because every time I would do a PrizePicks read and Bill went out, I'd be like, you have to go and hit this right. They'd be giving Jonathan Taylor or Derrick Henry over under half a touchdown. It'd be minus 400 at regular books. And there's just over or under half a touchdown there.
Yeah, those are, I mean, when you can find those, and they're few and far between, but that definitely can take it to the next level. And even tonight, there's a ton. I'm on our PrizePicks parlay builder right now. It's got to be 10 plus props that we have 54% or better in terms of X win, all of which are going to be over the threshold to make your, you know, especially if you're going for the 6X for the big payoff, your break even point isn't nearly that high. We have great evergreen content on that very topic, but you have a lot of options, not to mention Taco Tuesday makes it even easier.
Yeah. Makes it way easier because you're getting I think it's Bridges. Do we have
Igor.
multiple? What's that?
It's Igor, my man.
Oh, okay. What do you know about him?
What do I know about him? I know he's on an elite team. I'll tell you that much.
All right. 13% off. Shesterkin. Get used to it. He's going to be hoisting a cup in a couple of months. Got his goalie saves down to 25.5. Take it if you can. Anytime they're giving this stuff out, take it. I bet if you go to any other book, it's probably a whole lot higher. So yeah, we'll take it. But yeah, Ricky posted one in chalkboard. Looks good to me, dude. But I would say too, go in the parlay builder as well. The first week is totally free on OddsShopper. Link is down below. All the screen sharing you see, all that stuff, it's entirely free. So you are not going to have to pay for anything in the first week. You're getting all the best bets. We're just finding discrepancies in the market and pouncing on that. The only thing I would say is it does change quickly. Like when a book realizes that people are hammering it because these tools are available, they're going to change it, right? They're not just going to hang it forever. Like in the amount of time that you and I have been talking over the past 20 minutes about this, we now have a best bet that wasn't there. Wendell Carter Jr. under 2.5 assists on PointsBet was not the number one XROI bet 20 minutes ago, even 10 minutes ago. When you, again, and this is one of the many reasons why I like this, it takes some time. And that's why we have the 7-day free trial. You get all these tools. You're able to kind of follow along with the show and get a feel for it, because throughout the day, if you refresh, you're going to see a totally different menu of options, because bets are going to adjust. These books are not stupid. Like you said, you think they're going to say, oh man, 1,000 people are flocking to bet the same inefficient line, we're going to do nothing? Like, no, they will absolutely move it. So you definitely want to be on top of that. And just for reference, just to kind of, we know Taco Tuesday is always a good spot, but Shesterkin, his save prop is 29.5, slightly juiced to the over. So that's a no-brainer for sure. Yeah. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. You take it. You take that. Any Taco Tuesday or free square or bet insurance that you get over there, you take advantage of it. Okay. So I want to have a little bit of fun here. And I would community parlay, we'll get to that in a second. Right now, no surprise, USA money line running away with it. Of course. I feel there may be some patriotism skewing these results. It's all right. I like to consider myself a patriot, Ben, but I do worry that when it comes to putting money on the line, there may be some bias involved in this. Am I wrong to think that way? You're definitely not wrong, but certain things, again, we're Team America. That's what we do around here. Hopefully get it done tonight. I can't wait to see this game. I'm not a huge baseball fan, but I will be tuning in to this one. I couldn't be more excited. It's just like the World Cup. Like, even if you don't like soccer, stars and stripes are out there. You got to root for your boys. Hell yeah, dude. I don't watch any soccer, but World Cup, you know I'm gonna watch it.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be. I hope you're on the show with me in a couple days because I was browsing. I told you I was trying to research a little college baseball, and Euro 2024 qualifiers are in the DK lobby. You got some teams.
Oh, okay.
So like Portugal and Liechtenstein, San Marino, your boys are playing against Northern Ireland. Egregious soccer.
Is that the
will
team
be
that
on
hasn't
the show.
scored since like '87?
Yeah, they only on the road. They haven't scored a road goal. I don't think in a decade or so. But
you know, in 2024, you got to drive down and we'll go to a game in Philly. They're a host city in 2024.
I'm talking about that's 2026.
Oh, is it?
2024 is for the Euros. It's
you
just
can bet
the Euro.
on 2024 qualifiers already.
Yeah, man, come on.
I thought it was qualifiers for the 20. So you're saying that it's in 2020, right? Because this was 2022. Okay, so you can already
in between the World Cups is the kind of continent one. So in 2024, Europe only will have theirs. So there are qualifiers for just that, and it's going to get dangerously insane. And I'll be betting on countries that you probably have never heard of.
So I would like to get a couple thoughts from chat and you. I want to do a little double shopping and see if we can find our, and Aton is in chat as well. I bet he's got something that he can throw at us. I saw Jordan Frank in there. I want people to find the double doubles that they like the most, right? I want to shop across these books and see how much value we can find on some of these good ones that we already like. What do you say?
Smoke. I love that. And I know this guy's a walking double-double. I wasn't looking to bet yes here, but just gut feel. Sabonis' double-double today, it's almost minus 600.
Yeah, dude, he's basically an instant triple-double.
I know, he's on the Jokic plan, but man, that's I might have to look to short that on principle.
Honestly, it's the second of a back. I will say this much.
That's what I'm saying.
Now that you bring this up, it is the second of a back-to-back. This is their 5th game in 7 days for Sacramento, right? They've done a heck of a lot of traveling, you know, and it's against the Boston Celtics where they're 4.5-point home dogs. They were just a few days ago, Ben, they had the back-to-backs in Chicago and then Brooklyn and then Washington on the 18th. They fly back on the 20th. Yesterday, they face Utah. They lose. Now tonight, they've got the Boston Celtics.
I mean, you're kind of making again, do I think that Sabonis is going to have a double-double? I do, obviously. Do I think he's north of 4-1 to not?
I kind of agree. Like a 20-9-6 game or something would be massive. It's unlikely.
Of course.
But
not to mention...
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, not to mention, like, when you talk about that many games, to me, and some of this is subjective, the first hint of a blowout, this is the type of game where they're, you know, okay, let's call it off. Like, I think there's more blowout equity in these type of spots than just a non-back-to-back, not a 5 and 6, something like that. You know what I mean?
Agreed. Yeah, absolutely. And if you guys are already in our chalkboard, throw your plays in there. Throw your double plays in there so we can evaluate them. I mentioned at the top of the show, the chalkboard app is free. Everything in there is free, not for a week, but forever. Like, we're just building a community in there of people who love betting sports and talking about them and sweating them together and celebrating. And when things go wrong, commiserating together. Sometimes that can be very helpful. But yeah, like, there's not even a no on Sabonis double-double on FanDuel, but there is on DraftKings.
What is his yes on FanDuel, just for reference?
550.
Yeah, he's 585 on DraftKings, which is even better because we want to pull up the no price as much as possible. If you're looking, I'll say this: if you are looking for a home run type play like that, a low probability with high upside, I don't think it's crazy to think that Sabonis over 4-1. I'm not. I may sprinkle on that.
I might have to as well. Oh yeah, Mike said too. You can scan the QR code for chalkboard and it'll pull right up on your phone. All right, so here's a couple. You want to talk about one more here that we can get into?
Talk about some reasonable ones because I threw out a YOLO one. You've had your finger on the pulse with some of these. You're talking about Bagley in previous shows. Some of those guys. Who catches your eye in this market? Because you've been hitting it harder than I have.
Okay. I do think it's a fun market because it can be so much different everywhere, right? It can vary widely. Let's take a look at Joe Val from book to book and see where he is. On DraftKings, he's minus 190. Now, I mention this because if Joe Val gets the minutes, he's going to crush a double-double almost every time. The only reason he's not like minus 400 to double-double, Ben, is because, excuse me, you never know if he's going to play 16 minutes or 34.
Yeah, there's a ton of just unknowns with Joe Val, not to mention, what do you make of the fact that they're upwards of 14-point favorites in this game? Do you think that helps, hurts, or is somewhere in between?
Blowouts are so tough to gauge because let's look at it from a couple of perspectives. I mentioned this, somebody had asked this in Chalkboard the other day. We're having a conversation about blowouts and they're like, yeah, this spot scares me. They were talking about potentially Embiid in a blowout against Chicago. They end up losing that game to Chicago in double overtime.
That was
right?
Double overtime. Oof.
Yeah. Harden shot like 2 for 14 or something. He was terrible. But Embiid gets over the PRA in double overtime, a game that they lose. Or you take like Houston against Boston the other week. They end up winning that game outright. Or Detroit in a lot of these recent games. I'll give you the best example. How about San Antonio last week when they were huge dogs, 13.5-point dogs to Memphis or 11.5-point dogs to Memphis? They end up going up by 30 at halftime. Now they lose in overtime, but that game still went to overtime. So there's a few ways this can go. One, it doesn't blow out at all because it's basketball and there still is parity in the regular season, right? Less in the postseason. Two, it blows out, but it blows out later in the game. So the starters still get their minutes. The end of the game, you look at the score and you go, man, they smoked them. But then you realize that it was tied going into the fourth quarter. Three, it's just a blowout and everyone has equal production, and it kind of sucks for everyone unless you're heavy on the unders. Or Ben, or they trashed this team and none of the starters play the fourth quarter, but they all got over by the third quarter anyway because they were up by 30.
That's the thing with to me, the blowout equity is more impacted if you're banking on the team that could get blown out. You know what I mean? Like if you're betting an over for the team that's supposed to kill them, yes, if your guy's sitting on the bench in a full quarter, that's not good. But he also probably had elite usage and elite production in 3 quarters. If your team gets smoked and the guy's sitting on the bench, now you got a double problem. And I know the Spurs, I don't even know if they can field the team tonight. I'm just like scanning who's available. They just have like actually no players. It's going to get ugly, but that doesn't prevent Joe Val. I mean, how many minutes, not to get too off the grid, but it's like, I'd probably sign for 24 minutes and take my chances.
Yes. Like if Joe Val, yes, I have no issues with that at all. And again, if you're going to blow a team out, like that means that you're playing really well and you're scoring like crazy.
That's what I mean. Especially in this NBA, you have 115 points after the third. Like it's lawless out there.
It's insane. All right. So how about this? Joe Val, BetMGM minus 110. DraftKings minus 190. FanDuel minus 175 to double-double.
Wait, he's minus 110?
Minus 210 on MGM. Oh. Minus 190 on DraftKings. Minus 175 on FanDuel. So again, a really nice discount there compared to these other books.
Yeah, that's huge. You're talking 35 cents. That adds up extremely quickly. I mean, you get things so drastic. Like you can look even to like ARB slightly if you wanted to, but it's there. Minus 175. Just such a... That guy, though, like he also could play 12 minutes, and it's just like, well, we've done it again.
Yep. Which that's why if I'm doing it, I'd rather get it with the shortest odds possible.
You have to save that money because without it, you're taking, again, what it could be a plus EV bet and turning it into a minus EV bet.
Or I meant longest odds. You know what I meant. But
of course.
Yeah, I'd rather get if you can find something like that, or you're minus 150, you're like, okay, yeah, there's some risk here, but I'm not paying minus 210 on it where I get trashed in the event that it loses. How about the Evan Mobley one that Sean Valentine pointed out in chat? I think that's a fun one here.
Okay.
Now,
what's the number?
Here's the interesting Evan Mobley on DraftKings is plus 120 to double-double. I don't know how good I feel about that, especially if Jared Allen's back. Do we have news on Allen yet? I don't think we do.
I don't see anything.
I mean, if Allen doesn't play, I certainly like that on Mobley. But if Mobley goes back to the 4 and you've got Allen at the 5, granted, Brooklyn, a dismal rebounding team. So there's that. This might be one where if you're getting it at plus money, you kind of roll the dice hoping that Jared Allen sits out, but he practiced fully yesterday. So I think I want slightly longer odds on that. Mobley 120 on FanDuel as well. Man, do all these books have the same price, Ben?
Yeah, I mean, if that's the case, then, they're kind of, unanimous in that that's what it should be. And it makes your margin basically, not applicable. It's tough to get value out of that. But God, some of these are tricky.
It's plus 115 on MGM too. Essentially,
Okay.
all of these books are in alignment. And those are the spots that I kind of hate.
Yeah, you want to find discrepancies.
Right. Someone mentioned Zubats too.
The latter.
On what?
On his rebounds.
A Zubats rebound ladder?
Yeah, he's had 16 and 2 of 3. I mean, does gel well with the Paul George going under.
It does. That's actually a good point. But are we getting a good, like, are we getting good value on a, we can look at it. We can look at it. Let's see.
I mean, step one, he's going to have to push. And it's not that his minutes have been inconsistent, but clearly we want him to push for 30 plus. If he can do that, he's had a string of big time games and almost all of them on the boards. He's getting 28 to 34 minutes in those games.
Yeah. Oddly, the only game recently he didn't was 27 minutes. And that was against, that was with Kawhi Leonard out. So yeah. Let me see. Where's the alt rebounds here?
Yeah, I haven't seen the price, so.
All right. I don't even see it on DraftKings. So maybe on FanDuel?
Yeah, it's probably FanDuel's got those. That's a lot of rebounds.
I'm good on that, dude. If plus 190 on 15.
Yeah, if I was going to do that, I would bet 17.
Yeah.
Like for 4, you're getting over 40. Now I know those next rebounds are exponentially less likely, but still.
Oh no, you got the wrong guy, Mike. I was gonna say there's no. You said
Sabonis.
You said Zubats, right?
Yeah, Zubac.
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
I was gonna say Zubats at 10.5 rebounds. The over's minus 105 on DraftKings. I'm like, how in the world is that?
I was
that's
like,
the worst odds I've ever heard.
This is just more of a sign that Sabonis is not going to get those 10 rebounds tonight.
Yeah.
He's going to have Sabonis is going to have 20-20-20. He's going to go like Russell Westbrook triple-double style.
Are you going to sprinkle on the under double-double?
I am. Just I like that price, and listen, he could have a triple. I should say, Lindy has been crushing. He's been betting Sabonis triple-double every night at like 3 or 4 to 1.
Yeah.
And every night it's a sweat. It's ridiculous.
I had one in my video last week as well. The first video I did, as a matter of fact, on the best NBA props. I found out Lindy was doing it in the channel as well, which was pretty awesome that everyone was sweating that together. I haven't hit it since though. I haven't bet it since. I don't think I bet it today. I don't think I bet the Sabonis double-double today or triple-double today.
That's because it's a sign that you should join me on the other side.
Okay. I will. I'll sprinkle on the under there.
Sprinkle. Just a sprinkle for sure, but
go ahead.
Nothing. I was just kind of looking around. Yeah, there's the Zubac 16 plus 700. That's more reasonable.
Eitan, can we do a top scorer parlay?
This guy.
What?
But Eitan, if you are watching, and I know you are, Harvard and lacrosse today, by the way, big guy. I got you covered.
Lacrosse action.
Yeah, BU is just not good. Anyway, I know you know that, Luffy, so it doesn't.
Yeah, I've just never been a fan of them.
I know. The old Terriers.
Well, we're up against it actually. I think we go with. I think we go ahead and hit the community parlay here before we go.
Community parlay for sure. Also, I just want to say real quick, I know you mentioned it, but like if you're looking for that, the PrizePicks parlay a day, all that stuff that's preloaded in there, just get it for the week for free. Just click the button right below the link in the description. In a second, you get the whole week for free. So you can just blindly tail that if you want each and every day, amongst other things. This community parlay is going to get a little dangerous today because I'm going off the grid for mine.
Ryan Nelson said one-way markets are usually bad for players. Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yep. That's why I like that DraftKings has the no on these double doubles too.
That's what's great because they can set it. If you have no opportunity to short it, they can set it for whatever they want.
Right. And then a lot of times you're just going to be like, man, that seems like a good bet.
Because you have no context. That's where same game parlays are very, very dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah. Not great. Godson says, sorry guys, but Japan winning. All right, dude, keep that shit to yourself, man. What are we doing? What are we doing here? Chase and Dime said, this is in our chalkboard app. I happen to be watching Lafayette and Ben on the OddsShop show and noticed Wendell Carter under 2.5 assists, Spencer Dinwiddie under 2.5 3-pointers, and Killian Hayes over half of threes. We did talk about all of them. The win percentage was all higher than 63%. Decided to parlay all three. All right. I wonder what the odds are on that.
Probably pretty good. I bet it's like 4 or 5, 4-ish, 5-ish.
And really, he's just parlaying
3+ EV bets.
Some of the best bets out there. That Aton's been crushing on the parlay, the OddsShopper parlay video that he does on the OddsShopper, and he's just pulling them straight from OddsShopper.
That's the beauty of it. Like I said, it comes preloaded. You just go in there and you're like, okay, I have plus EV bets already lined up. I select my book because like sometimes I go in there and it's like I want to do this on DraftKings. You filter by your book so you don't get ones that are the best line on say BetMGM, and then I place the bet and then I complain when something catastrophic happens. But there's no doubt that's the move.
Aton said it's the Chat GPT of betting tools. Yeah,
you're not wrong.
Link is in the description. First week free for everything on it too. It's not like a half of a free. It's everything that's free.
Full functionality. Where are you? Do you want to say? Because we got Team USA. Team America is in the community parlay.
Do we want to do this on DraftKings? Like, do we? Yeah, DraftKings. Okay.
Because they have the insurance bet. If you bet Team USA, you get that $15 back if they lose.
But don't put it in a parlay.
No, do not put it in a parlay.
But we'll put this one in a parlay.
That's right.
All right.
No
so they're minus 165 now.
They're taking and they're going to Steam because a million people are going to be piling in.
All right, what are you going with? I don't know if I can let you go lacrosse. Is that available to everybody?
So I'm not going to go lacrosse. Lacrosse is a great betting sport. I'm going to hockey, and I've been not getting crazy with this, but I'm going to go to the Predators Sabres game, and I'm going over 6.5 goals in the Sabres game at minus 120. And for the simple reason that Buffalo scores like banshees and they play no defense. They're at home. I like them in this game. They're slight favorite. The Predators are not really known for offense by any stretch, but Buffalo carries it. And I'm just going to go, I mean, this is just somewhat cherry picking, but goals in their last games, 7, 7, 9, 7, 3, 14. Game with 14 total goals in it.
What? Okay.
The Sabres are giving up a ton of goals and they're top 5 in scoring. They're at home tonight. Over 6.5 goals, Mike. I wish it was 5.5. Over 6.5 goals at minus 120. 5-3 type game tonight in Buffalo.
Okay. I love it. I'm going Sabonis, no double-double.
Yeah.
I'm joking. That would be astronomical odds if that hit.
Yeah, that'd be retirement season.
Huge payout. You know what I want to do? I want to throw a bone to the community. I want to throw a bone to everyone in chalkboard, to everything we've been talking about. I'm going to go Zubats over 11.5 points. It's even money on DraftKings. You look at it elsewhere, minus 118, minus 118, minus 115, minus 122. It's even money on DraftKings, 4% expected ROI. It's one of our highest XROI DraftKings bets on OddsShopper right now. And we've been talking about Zubats all day.
I like it. I have no issue with that. What a wacky looking community parlay. Those are the best kind.
We got World Baseball Championship. We got
hockey
NHL,
total.
And we got the NBA. Let's go, baby. What are the odds on that,
thing.
Mike? Okay.
5 to 1. I like that.
I'll take 100 to win 500 any day of the week.
Yeah.
Lock it up. Make it happen. Follow Ben at JazzRaz DFS. If you're in the DFS as well, deeper dive starting right now over on the Stochastic YouTube channel, STOKASTIC. That's all of our DFS content and so much more. Follow me at Lafayette_D. Appreciate you guys hanging with us. Remember, Chalkboard app, it's our new place to talk when we're not on YouTube. To sweat, all the picks are free. Everything's free forever. Download it or use the QR code on the screen right at the top. First week of OddsShopper is free, and any books that you're not on yet, down there as well. Get some good promos, especially for Bet365. Appreciate you guys hanging out. Let's go USA. Ben, how you feeling?
I feel great. Good luck, everybody. Enjoy. And of course, tomorrow, be here for Victory Lap season. Same time, same place.
Let's go, baby. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Good luck tonight.